So this is a question from the 5.1 homework. So question 12, and you will probably have some different numbers than I have, but I just wanted to go through a word problem and how it works, how we put it into an equation and where we go from there. So this is my question 12. So as I go through, I'm going to underline some things I know I'm going to need for writing the equation and then go from there. So admission to a museum is $30 for adults. So $30 for adults, that's going to be my first. And then we'll do this one, $30 for adults, $20 for students. The freshman class is attending a field trip with teacher chaperones. Mr. Freeze collects this much money from teachers and students, so that's our total amount of money. And then 216 total people go on the field trip. How many students and teachers attend? So since this is the question, how many students and teachers, that is what's gonna represent our variables, right? That's the thing that we don't know. Those are the two numbers we don't know, how many students and how many teachers. And usually you can just pick what you wanna use for those, but in this case, it gives us, it says use S for number of students, and then use A for number of adults. So those are our two variables right there. Instead of X and Y, we have S and we have A. So now we need to write equations, and you have a couple questions that ask you for equations, including this one, and then a couple that ask you for your answers, including this one. So for writing the equation representing the total number of people who went to the museum. So I have a total number of people, which is 216 total people. So anytime you have a total, you just put it over here. 2 equals 216. So 216 is my total, and I need to figure out the other side of the equation of what makes up that total. Since we're talking about people, it's just the number of people. So we have different people go. We have students and we have adults. Those are the only two things that we have. So we have students, but we don't know how many students went, but we do have a variable that represents that. So I know S, students went, because that is the variable that represents the number of students. That's what it says right here. And then we have also A, number of adults. So combined, the number of students and, that's how we write and in mathematics as a plus sign, the number of students and the number of adults all combined equals 216. So that would be my answer for that one. Okay, writing the equation for the total amount of money collected. I also have a total amount of money, which is $4,420. But what is it that made up that money that he collected? And the money comes in, these are the two parts that we haven't used yet. We haven't used $30 and $20, but it's not just 30. We can start there. Okay, so I know $30 plus $20, but I didn't collect $30 just once. He collected $30 for every adult who went. So if it was 2 adults, it'd be 30 times 2. If it was 3 adults, it'd be 30 times 3. We don't know how many adults went, but we have a variable for that. We know A is the number of adults that went. So $30 for adults, we're going to say is going to be 30 times A, and that is how much money he collected from adults, and $20 from every student, so 20S, all together equals 4,420. So those are my two equations. And then I can solve those equations using either elimination or substitution. There is graphing, but graphing is kind of hard to do when you have this big of numbers. So I would stick with substitution or elimination, and then you can use that to solve for actual what is A and what is S, how many students went and how many adults went.